Hold up a second. Is that Scandinavia in 1493 Iron Man game, and I really mean Iron Man game, with an achievement, let it go, and we're also a Norse nation. That's right, Lions of the North added Norse in the base game, and you have to start as the Norwegians to get Norse and follow a very specific path, so pay close attention, boys. So our starting position as the Norwegians is fairly good, let's say. We have some insanely overpowered sprites. I mean, just look at how amazing these guys look. I would give independence to Norway just for these beautiful spritios here. But hey, I'm not the Danes, so I'm gonna have to fight them to get my independence. Rest assured, it's fairly easy. So our main goal today is actually to get the Norse religion in a base vanilla game as the Norwegians, and we will be able to do that via a series of events. So pay close attention because you really need to follow exactly what I tell you here, boys. I'm happy to see that secretly PDX added in Norse and didn't tell anyone. I found out about it from snooping through the game files because I do modding for the game also once in a while, and that's how I saw the events that allowed the Norwegians to become a Norse nation. First off, you start with a couple of horrible privileges here. You got the noble court and the Danish nobility, and they're both massive debuffs. We want to get rid of both of these. So of course, the very first thing we'll be doing is we'll be giving out the admin power as well as the diplo power for our estates, and because we only start with very little crownlands, we can only give out these 2 mana privileges, not all 3, and because we have 6 privilege slots that we can give out, we're gonna give a few extra here, including the religious diplomats that will help us do another one of our missions, because that's right, Norway has a mission tree now, and in my opinion, this is the most fun mission tree out of all the mission trees in Scandinavia, even more fun than the Swedish one. Don't forget the private trade fleets, and we're gonna go for the indebted to the burghers guild since we need the cash for the early on war against the Danes. We're gonna be fighting for our independence. So the early mission tree for the Norwegians revolves around a couple of things. First off, it revolves around starting exploring the world again, since as you guys probably know, a few hundred years prior to our start date, one of the most famous murderers in all of Norwegian history, Eric the Red, actually established a colony in Greenland after he was exiled from Iceland for murdering more people there. That's right, this guy was a horrible human being, but he did something good eventually because, you know, he colonized land and stuff. Well, we're gonna be finding his colonies today, and we're gonna figure out what's going on over there in this Greenland, as they call it. The way that we're gonna do that is we're gonna have some 8 lightships to start with. This is gonna give us the maps to Greenland. Then we're gonna be progressing down this particular mission line, whilst at the same time we're doing the other ones that are a little bit more focused on the military. We also want to improve relations with their rivals, namely with the English and Novgorod. Oh, actually, the English already want to support us. There you go. We got 100 relations with them already, and we just got to get the relations with the Novgorod in that case. Maybe actually Lithuania also. Bro, what? I can instantly do that mission? Oh yeah, baby. Personally, I really think that the manpower is going to be of massive help since manpower is massively nerfed now. Lithuania refused. England gave us, there you go, the English gave us some manpower. So we start with 25,000 manpower. That is not bad at all. The point is that, yeah, manpower has been massively nerfed, and we really need to watch our attrition in this independence war. Before we get to that point, though, we also have to ally the Swedes. What will happen is the Swedes likely will become disloyal, and there you go, they already became disloyal, 69%. They got their event. A new leader arrives. Johan Vasa, 1441, leader of the rebellion. Honestly, you can do this war of independence even without any allies. Just you and the Swedes can kick the Danish ass. Easily can kick the Danish ass. Johan Sinsson. That's totally a Norwegian name. Gonna get a discipline advisor also. That should help us out during the war. Declare my independence war now. Wait, what? Brandenburg? For real? They allied all my favorite nations. The Teutons and Brandenburg, bruh. Okay, but it looks like Novgorod's actually gonna support our independence also. So it's gonna be a piece of click. A massive piece of click, boys. We got the click with us here. Alright, that's what's happening. So let's start moving our troopers over to the south. And you know what? I think it is time to recruit the free company me now. Also, so we can actually do this mission. Expand the militare. Let's go, boys. That gives us morale of armies and shock damage received bonuses plus some mill points. Wait, what? The Danes actually got new sprites? Yo, I like the Danish sprites more. Oh, dude, you know what? If we get 10,000 likes on this video, I'm gonna do a Denmark video simply because I really adore this uniform. Wait, is this Holstein or Denmark's uniform? I'm gonna choose to believe that's Denmark's uniform, not Holstein. Oh, hey, look at that. Good guy Sweden actually gave us control of Lund, which is amazing, but that means we actually have to pay for the fort in Lund, which is, it's not so amazing anymore. It's also attacked the Danish scumbags here. We are getting a river crossing because we're just chads, okay? That's how we roll. We don't attack unless we get a river crossing. You're not a real man at this game if you don't get a river crossing. All right, fine, whatever, okay? Just, I know what you're gonna say in the comments. Just be quiet. Bohus Fortress, gain a castle in Bohuslen. Does that mean if I had built there a castle before, I would have gotten a level 4 castle then? I'm gonna test that out later and I'll let you guys know in the comments. Looks like we got the forts of the north also. Maintenance minus 75% and fort defense plus 15, as well as a military engineer that's 50% cheaper to get. I'm actually gonna get this mission later on once I have a few more forts so I can really take advantage of it. Not just yet. Time to help our Swedish brothers fight off the Danish scumbags. Yep, I think we're gonna win this. Safe to say the fact that there's like 100 nations fighting Denmark is enough nations to kill off Denmark. And that aggressive AI stroke again. Stroke again? Is that the right thing to say? I'm not sure. Yeah, but what I was gonna say is that they attacked whilst my ally was sieging down Sjælland. That doesn't happen in previous patches, okay? That's why I'm pointing this out. Hey, looks like we can actually make peace with the Teutons. I really don't mind just getting white peace with them. Or it looks like we can get war reps. Nah, we cannot get war reps. Oh no, we can get war reps, but less cash. That's fine with me, because the war reps goes directly to me and nobody else. Secession of church functions. No, I don't want that. Thank you very much. All right, I think I can actually do the peace deal now. I am gonna go for the grant independence, because, you know, we want to be independent. I'm also gonna take the southern bits here, so I can cuck on over the Swedes from expanding into the south, and this way I can keep them weak, because I don't want a strong Sweden next to me, obviously, for, you know, for very obvious reasons, even though they're my ally for now. Can we even take Bornholm or whatever this is called? Yeah, we can. Would that increase the coalition by 1 nation? So I don't care. Yeah, let's just go for this. This is actually the best deal in my opinion. So next up, we can do win our independence that grants us a PU restoration against the Danes, and it will last for 20 years. So we don't want to really click this now. We want to click this mission after the truce is over with the Danes, and we can attack them again to enforce that PU. Oh, what? Sweden announced me their rival? Bro, what? Really don't know why they did this. I mean, Sweden, we used to be like bestest of bestest friends, right? Is it because I took the southern tip of your country? Can't be because of that for sure. So then we have a 5 years truce with Sweden also until 1453. You know what? We're gonna get ready then, and we're gonna attack them in 1453. And we can get another fortress in the province of Varduhus. But yeah, I'm not gonna get that fortress. I'm gonna get the manpower, mill power, and the fort defense. Another reason why I really just focused on the southern tip first before focusing on the Swedish lands or so on. You might be inclined to just keep Sweden in the enemy alliance so you can take Swedish lands, but the reality is that Swedish and especially Finnish lands are trash at the start. You don't want these lands. You don't get much economy from this. But by taking Sjælland and the southern tip here, these are all provinces on the Lubeck node, and they're islands and they're not connected to the mainland, so it's easy to hold on to them. Plus, because they are a part of the Lubeck node, it's going to increase our overall trade power in the Lubeck node, and it's going to give us way more ducats from trade than any of the Swedish or Finnish provinces in the north would ever give us. And the first step is complete, boys. We have the fleet of Norway, which means we can click the button and we get an explorer with 100 tradition, and we got the maps of Greenland event, which allows us to discover the North Atlantic and the Greenland area plus 15 naval tradition. So holy mother of Shmegagadabugadagoo. Did they actually name this after him? Eriksfjord or Eriksfjord? Can we get the Norwegian people in the chat to explain what's happening here? Alright, well, now next up we're gonna have to continue down this path with colonial ambitions. We need to unlock Quest for the New World, so that means we need to get our first idea set unlocked, or just any idea set, and we can do the Call of Our Forefathers first national idea. That also works. We don't actually need to go for exploration idea ideas to become a colonial empire as Norway. Norway, in fact, is one of the few nations for which you do not need to go for colonial ideas to be a colonial empire. That's just insane unto itself. Don't forget also, after you've captured the new lands, to lower the autonomy, otherwise you're not going to get the maximum amount of income and manpower that you're supposed to be getting from those provinces. Wait, what? We can sell our heavy ships for 60 ducats. We're actually making a profit on these ships. We actually made 10 ducats because they only cost 50 to build. Well, we are losing the sailors, so we got that right. Not sure how this happened, but Sapmi is a country now, and they have some really interesting sprites also. I actually like the Sapmi sprite more than the Norwegian one. Can I switch over to Sapmi? No, now that I take it back. Norwegian one is cooler. Hey, look at that. We can sell ships to Gotland also for 60 ducats. I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe I should start my own production of heavies. And there you go. Even Friesland's giving me 60 ducats. I'm making money, man. And my sailors can recover end of the day, right? That's like a good, what, 40 ducats that I got from selling the 4 ships that I had. Here's another thing you guys should remember to do. Whenever you're fighting rebels and they're sieging down your forts, you can always just sally from the fort or sortie from siege, and that's gonna give you a couple of thousand extra units to fight against the rebels. They disappear after the battle is over, but those 2,000-3,000 units might be of massive help in that fight, and it only costs like what, 9 military points. It's time for the Great Northern War. That's probably not the one you're thinking of, but hey, this is a Northern War and it's gonna be a great one, okay? We're calling in the Mecklenburgians, and that's why it's such a great war. Let's go and attack Elfsborg. In case you're wondering, yes, this is exactly where elves are from, my dear American viewer. Your history teacher is going to be really impressed with you telling him where elves come from. Just don't tell him you got that information from me, okay? We're going to wait for the Swedish army to get movement locked, and they just got that, so we're going to be fighting them over. Oh, what? They got faster troops than us? Bro, come on. For real? I was building up my speech here and momentum like, yo, we're going to be catching up to them and fighting them. Nope, Sweden is not going to take any of that right there. In fact, they're going to run like little wussies. For real? I'm going to carpet siege your country in that case, broski. Ah, there you go. When I started sieging down his country and splitting my troops apart, his army came back, boys. I love the new AI. It's actually easier to bait it now. There you go. Cannot run away from Stockholm now. Oh, you son. Seriously? Cannot run away from Bergslagen. There you go. We caught them. We caught them on the first try. What the hell? I'm actually losing that battle. Bro, what? I had way more troops than them. No, I'm winning. I'm winning. Come on. Tell me I'm winning. Holy what? How did I lose that? Obviously, it's because of the extra 20% infantry compatibility that the Swedes have. All right, we're going to be chilling a little bit in Shealand here because we're protected by our ships until our armies recover. Looks like we can call in allies. Wait, what? Volgast. By the way, when I went to PDXCon in Stockholm, I saw the Vasa. I have to say that ship is impressive, guys. You have to visit that if you're ever in Stockholm. Cannot believe how well preserved it is, honestly. It's almost 400 years old as well. It's like from 1628 or something like that when it sank. Oh wow, good guy Sweden killing off my rebels. Thank you so much, Sweden. I really appreciate it. Ah yes, big brain AI. Siege down my mountain fort that also has 72 freaking fort defense. Good luck with that, Sweden. I think these are the only forts they have. The one in Kalmar, Elfsborg, and Stockholm. So after this, we should No, we also have to siege down Viborg, don't we? Nice try, Sweden, but we got this battle in a bag, boys. No way you're gonna take back Stockholm from us. And yes, that's right. We're renaming this place. From now on, it shall forever be known as Stockholm. Got a problem with that, Stockholmian? I don't think we need to even siege down Viborg, do we? Nope, we do not at all, sir. Let's bring back our boyo from here. 122 with 120, and we do get a small coalition of mainly North European countries, but that's honestly not an issue. So the reason I went for this exact deal here is because I get parts of the Finnish lands and the northern bit. By getting this, we have access to Novgorod and Sapmi, and most importantly, we cut the Swedes in half, we took their capital, and we connected our lands in the south by taking over Elfsborg. So in doing so, the second war against the Swedes, and likely the final war, let's let's check. Yeah, 93% for all provinces. The second and final war against the Swedes is going to be a lot easier now. And with Stockholm and Dalaskogan, we don't need to worry about finances for a very long time, since Dalaskogan has a monument, the Falun copper mines, that offer insanely huge amounts of money by giving an extra 9 local goods produced. That is the equivalent of having 45 production development in a copper mine that is Dalaskogan. That is ridiculously high, guys. Attack Sapmi people, and because Sweden has guaranteed the Sapmi, they're gonna come in that war, and that means we can get a 5 years truce rather than a 15 years truce against the Swedes. Obviously, as your second tier reform, you want to go for the Noble Officer Corps, which offers army tradition, and it also gives loyalty for the nobility every time you recruit generals, so we actually can use that in order to get rid of the nobility debuffs that we have here, the Danish nobility and the nobles courts. In fact, other things that we can use to get rid of that, because we need to increase the amount of loyalty equilibrium and lower the influence equilibrium, well, we can do that also by giving out the monopoly on mining and smelting and monopoly on livestock. I personally think just one monopoly on livestock is enough, since that's going to bring it up to 57. Then we increase that by 4% from recruiting 2 generals, and we also will be selling some crownlands at that point, which is going to bring us over 70%. And monopolies on livestock is not a problem, because the provinces that we'll be conquering in the next 10 years are not going to be livestock, so we're not really losing out any sort of massive income right there. Also notice Novgorod only has 5,000 units, so yeah, let's kill off Novgorod. I'm so excited for once we switch on over to Norse. It's going to be one of the most unique runs I've ever had. I don't want to waste too much of my admin points coring up all of this. 200 is already a lot. In fact, I'm actually thinking to not take all of that, maybe just like this. 144, 126, let's go. And don't forget to get the Norwegian Sailors Boarding Doctrine that offers Marine Force limit plus 25% and fleet movement speed plus 1. That is a massive buff. Remember, guys, that this basically means you get an extra 10,000 manpower pool, because recruiting Marines cost you sailors rather than costing you actual manpower. Remember that you also have an explorer that you can use to explore the new world after you get your mission done. So we use that, and we actually can see what's happening in the northern parts of the North American continent, or the North Viking continent. See what I did there? It's because Americo Vespucci did not discover the Americas, okay? I'm just saying, we did it before them. So yeah, now on my list is to kill off all of these people here. So because we managed to get a really cool event, we got our loyalty up to 70% for the nobility, which means that we can actually revoke one of these after we recruit a couple more generals here. Now it's 76 loyalty with 74 influence, which means we can get rid of one of these guys. I'm actually going to get rid of the Danish nobility simply because, you know, it's the Danish nobility. We also managed to get the quest for the new world, and that means we have everything we need for this mission, with the exception of we still have loans, so we got to get rid of those loans, and we're not allowed to have a deficit. Also, take a look at my new little pet over here. So I decided, instead of fully annexing Sweden, why not keep this nation as a 3-province minor nation in the middle of Finland? This way I trigger both the Swedes and the Finns. It's what we call in my country great success. You shall forever remain here, Sweden, as a little Schnippeldorp. All of that lowering of autonomy paid off, because now we have pretty much the money that we need in order to pay off the last loan. 156, hold up a second, how much we need? 179. Okay, one more month, let's go. Actually, no, we can click this and we got the money, and we're gonna lose 19. No, not now. Let's click this mission first, shall we? Colonial ambitions is gonna give us 3 marine units in the province of Akirch, and this leads the way towards the Great Explorer fleet. We just need to have 1 explorer and a flagship, so we need to build a flagship essentially. Gonna give it extra trade power per ship and fleet. So with our boarding policy, we have the fastest ships in the world. We finished constructing our flagship in our capital of Oslo, I'm guessing, and that means we can enact the Great Fleet here. Together with the whole new world, we get a permanent claim on every province with the central trade or estuary in the new world, plus settlers, and navy tradition. So that is a really great mission if you like going colonial. But next, we're gonna do the colony of Greenland, and this is how we're gonna get the Norse religion, boys. To do this mission, we just need to have 3 infantry regiments in either one of these 2 provinces. So we're gonna transport those troopers over there right now. There's also a pretty sizable war going on between the Poles and the Muscovites, and I'm not sure which one's the winner. The AI is actually fighting super smartly now compared to before. Like, they're trying to avoid battles where they know for sure they're gonna lose. Alright, boys. Well, we brought 3,000 units to Eriksfjord, and as consequence, we can enact the colony of Greenland. I recommend once you do this, if you're gonna try and follow what I do in my video here, that you save the game and be ready to Alt F4, because the chances of you getting the Norse religion are less than 10%. But let's click this out here. It gives us a little bit of an insight into Greenland, how it was discovered by Eric the Red. Well, actually, it was discovered before Eric the Red. He knew about the lands here from some chronicles. But anyway, he came here in 986 and eventually colonized it. Communications between Norway and Greenland ceased during the Black Death. That means the big plague that was happening in Europe in the 11th century. And the fate of Greenland has become a mystery to us. Essentially, nobody knows what actually happened to the colonists in Greenland. It was eventually recolonized later on. But we have the option to look for the settlements of the Greenish people, or Greenlandic people. That's what we're gonna go for. Lose 104 ducats, not a big deal. And after 1 month, we get one of 3 results. Now, if we're not gonna get the result that we want, then we're gonna crash the game and we're gonna click this mission again, search for the lost colony until we get the results that we want. 90% of the times, this will happen. You're gonna get the settlement of Greenland. Nobody knows what happened. Our scouts returned with nothing. You get 400 colonists in both of these provinces here, and you essentially have 2 established colonies in these provinces. That's 90% of the times, right? So that's when you Alt F4. After you've Alt F4'd enough times, you're gonna get this version here. There's a 10% chance of getting this. I personally think it's actually less than 10% because I probably Alt F4 more than 50 times to actually get this outcome. I'm not even joking. It's ridiculously hard to get it. Our scouts returned with news that they found Eric the Red's descendants, essentially. There's a small detail about our colony, though. Due to the decades of being separated from Norway and the rest of the Christian world, the local population started to pick up the traditions of our ancestors and have been practicing the forbidden Norse rituals ever since. So that means we get these 2 provinces fully colonized and their Norse religion, boys. We got Norse provinces, boys. There's also a chance that they spawn in, but they're not Norse, they're Catholic. So there's 3 outcomes, keep that in mind. And we're gonna start converting these to our religion. Take note, we're not actually gonna convert this to our religion, right? We're only starting to. So then eventually Norse zealots are gonna spawn, and we're gonna let these Norse zealots convert the rest of our country. Also, because we have 2 fully fledged colonies here, we can use our colonist that was actually just improving this province here. Gonna stop improving their boyos, and we're gonna send them over to colonize the new world proper. If you really want to rush with this, you can probably do this about 10 to 15 years earlier, and we should be able to get rid of this privilege also, the noble courts. Let's recruit 1 general again, and that means we got 55 cell titles. Oh no, we still need 2 more. Okay, so let's recruit 1 more general in that case, and 1 more. That's a lot of generals we recruited to get rid of the noble courts, but we did eventually get rid of the noble courts. That means that we can do expel Danish nobility from our country, which means that we have the tier 1 reform Norwegian monarchy. Why is this the Arab guy sprite? We get national unrest -1 and yearly legitimacy +1 from this reform. So next up, we need to get Denmark Norway enacted, and we're gonna use our win our independence mission now, gain the restoration of union, see beyond the Danes. But let's go ahead and attack them. Let me actually get my troops back into the mainland first. And the best part is that the Norwegian government is a parliament, so you get all of the juicy diets now from the parliament. Aw, Denmark only has 9,000 units left. Let's go with the restoration of union. Mecklenburg Gotland can help us out so we can use their ships as well in this war. I am going to be assaulting pretty much all of the fortifications. I'm not a very patient person, especially after I have enough ships to barrage stuff, right? There you go, 27 days we got Kilding, and now we can get the capital too. And we managed to stack wipe the entire Danish army, which actually gave us the war score 70%. 50%, 50 liberty desire reduction for Denmark, as well as we get until the end of the game advisor cost minus 15%, nobility equilibrium and possible advisors, and we get a restoration of union on Sweden. The best part though is that because we enacted that mission, we can form Scandinavia now. It does not require us to have admin tech 20. As the Norwegians, Norway can form Scandinavia about 200 years earlier, and we get different ideas as Scandinavia. Dariago, Scandinavian ideas that include 5% discipline, goods produced plus 15%, manpower plus 20, admin efficiency, construction cost, trade efficiency, morale of navies, cav fire plus 0.5. That is ridiculously powerful, guys. And infantry combatability plus 20%. Not only that, but you also keep the Norwegian missions, plus you get an extension to the Norwegian missions as Norwegian Scandinavia, I guess. This is a special reform that you get. Well, it's a privilege that you get, the laydown conscription, which allows 50% Marine Force limit. Plus, you can also get Marines of Norway, which means that your Marines receive 10% shock damage, which is basically the same like regular infantry because Marines have 10% plus shock damage by default. Another thing unique to the Norwegians is the mountain expansion privilege that allows you to develop mountain provinces for 50% less the debuff when it comes to development. Actually, I just realized, guys, we can do let it go, start as Norway, have your capital in the Canada region whilst not owning any provinces in Canada. You know what I'm gonna do? There you go, Sweden. You okay with free provinces? I bet you are. Actually, I can give all my provinces to the Danes. I bet they will be happy to get back all of these provinces that they previously owned. Plus a couple of provinces they never owned. I feel bad. I was gonna give the Swedes a lot, but I guess I changed my mind, and Sweden's still a 4-province minor now. I did have to kill off the Norse rebels, but not to worry. We don't have many provinces except these here, so let's change our capital over to Vesti Bigudogudobudoburum. So we got it, boys. We got the achievement. Let it go. We deleted most of our armies, and we also deleted most of our fleets because we're now a 3-province minor nation. We're also going to be abandoning the PU over the Danes. Let them have their own faith. We're gonna have ours in the new world. The Norse rebels that were previously hiding out in the Canadian lands have returned to our main Greenland areas, and they have also changed our religion to the Norse religion by enforcing their demands, which means we are officially a Norse nation, and we can go for some of these juicy Norse aspects here. We're gonna go for the discipline, and we're gonna start our conquests of the new world, bringing liberty and chadness to these people. If you guys want me to continue this run, it's gonna be a tough one, so 15,000 likes, and we're gonna establish the great Scandinavian empire in the new world. Until the next time, check out this awesome Teutonic Horde run. And I want to give a massive thank you to all of my patrons, channel members, and Twitch subscribers. I would not be able to do this without all your support.